Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Taking another look here at Avalanche, seeing what's going on. I got a lot of requests for this one, so I figure we cover it twice today. So if you saw my video from earlier, then you probably understand that we have potential for pullback, but the price action did wake up and effectively break through this little resistance there at 27.10. To just kind of have a couple of hours of fun and pull back down. We're at a 9 on TD sequential now, so we could very well see the price action start to kind of relax. But once more, anything could happen. Let's take a look at the backend data and just kind of start with that, and then kind of go through a couple of other possible case scenarios. So not a whole heck of a lot here. If we just kind of zoom in, we don't see tons of liquidation data, which is kind of refreshing for a change because so many coins are just getting heavily concentrated with tons and tons of liquidation, and they become very manipulatable, if that's even a word. So in this case here, we got some longs at about $25, but very few shorts. So that's kind of a good sign to me personally. There's a lot, of course, at 20, but the majority of the Rex came at 23/2150 from a few days ago here, a couple days ago rather. Okay, so again, backend data is not too terrible. Let's go ahead and look at this here, and just keep in mind when all liquidations have just been kind of wiped out, the price will move a little bit more sporadically. That's half the reason why we probably saw the price shoot up, because all the shorts got wrecked. The bears are like pumping the brakes. We're not going to take a trade until it's overextended. It's probably not even at that point yet. So let's talk about the daily and kind of work our way down. Also, quickly to note too, I just want to say congrats to our community members. We got some phenomenal traders over here. Very, very well done here. Kratos, 25% from a short OP. Love to see that. Matic, nice little Bitunix trade there, 80% profit there from Providence 71. Kratos again, nice little safe conservative shorts. And no worries with a pretty monstrous long there for Bitcoin of 41 to 43.5. That's awesome. Also, congrats to our community members too, who are taking advantage of our amazing trades. Honestly, like just raking in the cash. Like we've collected somewhere in the 600 to 700% profit in the last 24 hours alone. So it's awesome stuff. Be sure to check that out in your own time with my Crypto Cash Premium group. We do have limited slots available, so just keep that in mind. I'm going to have to close the doors here soon, just because a lot of folks are coming over and just want to make sure I have enough time with my members, right? So daily time frame, I think I just want to show you this because of the moving averages, and I want to ensure that you understand that we're still bullish on this coin, and that even if it were to consider pulling back, we're not going to be in dire straits, okay? Because we got a couple of ascending trends, which are very, very nice, very awesome, extremely beneficial, and we're in good shape there. We are hitting an 8 on TD sequential with stochastic starting to swing down, so we want to pay attention to that and kind of see over the next couple of days what that means. That could mean that the price action is due for a shift in momentum, but our MACD is still converging. We're only 2 days in. I personally feel that we're still going to see more upside, but it would also make more sense too if the price just corrected itself a little bit to one of these Fibonacci retracement levels. So we'll actually highlight that now, just so you understand, because I do get the question a lot on my Twitter or Telegram. What does it mean when you post the Elliott Wave? Well, it's really just kind of a hypothetical because we don't know if this is the top yet. But if this is, then we could very well see these levels because it's common for us to see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 higher highs, 2 higher lows, followed by 2 lower lows and a lower high. So if this is the top, hypothetically, and the price pulls down to here, then we'll see the price jump up to a lower high, and then the price pull down to a lower low. Usually that lower low is lower than the most recent low, okay, or most recent high, depending on, but generally speaking, it's going to fall in that range. So that's what those levels are for. Me personally, I use them as dollar cost average targets in the bullish market. Those are kind of areas you want to focus on investing because those are like the buy the dips scenario. Okay. Again, if you kind of look at this here with the fib levels, 0.5 makes the most sense because we had a lot of resistance at that level, but there's also a lot of volume at 0.618. So either of these two targets, I would say between 22.25 and 23.30 would be likely DCA targets or a realistic pullback targets. Okay. Again, is that going to happen? No, we don't know if this is a top yet, but it could happen, right? Everything's a possibility. All right, so 4 hour time frame, let's quickly note that we are kind of tapering off with our RSI, MACD, and of course, stochastic. So we're swinging down here. This is not bearish at all. It just implies that it's overextended, kind of calming down. Price kind of consolidating sideways here is actually pretty good. So I prefer to see something like that. But again, it's no matter how you look at it, it's overextended, and we could see a little bit further of a downside. To me, 24.35 would be a better entry. I'm going to wait for the price action to come down this 23 to 24 range before I consider an entry. If it goes up and I miss out, so what? I do not care. You shouldn't either, honestly. Yeah. So what if you like this coin and you missed out on opportunity? There's gonna be plenty more everywhere else in the market. So just roll with me here. It's not the end of the world if you miss an opportunity. Okay. Those are all things you kind of learn over time. And I don't know, for 20 years in the market, I guess I'm just kind of desensitized. Okay, so that's the 4-hour time frame. Not really too much else to know. Yes, we are overextended on a TD sequential here. That doesn't matter too much, honestly. But a likely scenario is the price goes sideways, legs up, or it just continues down here because it needs to pull back because it went up too fast. Those are two scenarios. We do have a small fair value gap there between 24 and 25, rough estimate. That could get filled. I'm not super concerned with that though. So we want to look here last at the hourly, and just note that we are about 4 hours of continuation into this downtrend here. So hypothetically, we got another 6 hours-ish before the price action decides it wants to either leg up or continue lower. If we look at Ichimoku Cloud, we can see here that we are starting to get some signs that we want to consider closing our position. And what I mean by that is just take it with a grain of salt. First of all, you don't just jump in there and do close all positions thing where you want to first of all use a limit order so you can pay less in fees. But what I want to say here is that with the lagging span intersecting with the price action, that's just the first indication on like a conservative indicator, letting you know that this uptrend is discontinuing. Okay, and hypothetically, if you were to take some profit, you close a portion of your position, not the entire thing. Okay, that's essentially what you're looking for. Same thing here as well. Conversion lines above the baseline, we got good momentum. That hasn't changed. And we're seeing this volume, tremendous amount of volume at this range, about $26 or just roughly $26. And the lagging span, or sorry, the cloud itself is just kind of hanging out right there. Okay, so if the price does end up pulling back or continuing lower, there's a great chance it'll bounce off that and continue higher. Okay, so again, the longer we spend in this range, the more likely we are to continue upwards, right? Because again, we'll have that upper and lower lead on the cloud to essentially support our price. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking for there. Me personally, if 24 hours from now, AVAX is still in roughly the same position, I'd be looking for a long. I'm not going to consider a short. Honestly, I don't think you should either. Shorts should be prohibited at this point until, January 1st? If not, possibly even later. And I just give that rough ballpark just because there's a lot of, there's tons of momentum in these trends. Just most coins, you can flip a coin and it'll go up. That's generally how we're looking right now. You want to be careful, of course, with your entry, but generally speaking, that's the concept, right? Okay, I hope that made sense. Again, if you haven't already, join our Bitunix exchange. Join the movement. It's a really awesome exchange. You got to use my link below to qualify for these benefits, but I can tell you it's certainly worth it because they are just no KYC, no VPN, extremely reliable. It's phenomenal tech support, and if you are a part of my Discord, again, my Discord's free, by the way. You just click down below and effectively join up. I got instructions here for how to utilize the exchange effectively as a beginner, but more important, how to set multiple profit targets. It's good to know that stuff. All right, folks, I hope you have a great rest of the day. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. Thanks again.